Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivero. Thank you for joining us. Democrats are waiting for Senator Joe Manchin to get on board with their social spending and climate change bill. One element previously cut is back on the table. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says paid family and medical leave is returning to the legislation. She says about 90% of the bill is agreed to and written. While negotiations continue, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says Democrats' lack of action on the economy and other issues hurt them in Tuesday's elections.
The message was clear on inflation, on economics. The message was clear on keeping woke propaganda out of public schools.
Nothing very new in that care section, except the fact that we would like to put on the table the family and medical leave. It's so needed and so popular in our country and makes such a difference in the lives of America's families. Very important to women, but men too, to have that opportunity.
Earlier on MSNBC, Democratic Senator Manchin said one of his main concerns with putting it back is how to fund it.
I do not object to it at all as far as the concept of paid family leave. People should be able to have family leave as they need it, but also we should be paying into it from same as we do Social Security. It's employer-employee participation.
Nikole Killion is following the latest from Capitol Hill. Hi, Nikole. So what exactly led Democrats to putting paid family and medical leave back in at this stage? I guess, why did they take it out and then put it back in? And what is the latest on negotiations overall?
Well, with respect to paid leave, I mean, you heard Senator Manchin there. He had been opposed to it, so that was one of the reasons that it was taken out. But it did spark a lot of backlash and outrage, especially among those who have been advocating for paid leave, whether that's people like Senator Kirsten Gillibrand or people like the Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who felt very strongly that it should be in. And, you know, what she told reporters today is that she just simply disagrees with Senator Manchin on this issue. And one point a number of female lawmakers have made is that, you know, they're not going to let a man dictate, one man in particular, you know, dictate the terms of something like paid leave, which is very critical, particularly to women. So Speaker Pelosi did make clear that, you know, look, she feels strongly that this should be in the bill, that it is part of a compromise, because this will just be only 4 weeks of paid leave that will be allowed should this legislation pass. She felt that it should be longer, at least 6 weeks. So she feels that already, you know, many Democratic lawmakers are kind of giving on this issue, but they did feel pretty strongly that it needs to be in.
And Nikole, after Republicans' strong performance in Tuesday night's elections, what are Democrats on the Hill saying privately about the prospect of losing their majority in the midterms?
Well, certainly, you know, this has sent some shockwaves throughout this Congress. But, you know, I think many Democrats have said, not even privately, but publicly, look, they feel that they do need something to show. And I think that's why you're seeing kind of the accelerator being put on this Build Back Better package, the social spending package we've been talking about for months, as well as this bipartisan infrastructure bill. You know, there was a thought among some lawmakers that had they been able to pass that sooner, it would have given a candidate like Terry McAuliffe something to show, something to tout on the road. And even the Speaker made the point that, you know, being able to show progress to the public is good, although she feels other factors may have been at play in that particular race. But that being said, you know, Democrats feel pretty strongly that they need to start delivering on parts of their agenda. And again, I think that's why you're seeing, at least in the House, Democrats trying to move forward with both bills as swiftly as they can, possibly as soon as this evening.
And Nikole, Senate Republicans yet again blocked even bringing a voting rights bill to the floor for debate yesterday. Now Democratic Senator Tom Carper of Delaware says he supports changes to the filibuster for voting rights legislation. Is this an idea that is gaining traction among Democrats?
Well, until it gains traction with folks like Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, you know, the chances are it may not get too far. And we do know, especially Senator Manchin has been a very strong institutionalist and feels very strongly that really nothing is going to change his view when it comes to the filibuster. But make no mistakes about it, you know, this is likely to raise the call for some type of carve out, at least on this issue of voting rights, because when we look at this issue of the Voting Rights Advancement Act, I mean, this wasn't even necessarily brand new bill. This was just to restore provisions in the 1965 Voting Rights Act, and yet still, Republicans opposed it with the exception of Senator Murkowski. So that being said, there is a lot of frustration among Democrats and more specifically voting rights advocates who feel that, again, with Democrats in control of the White House, in control of the House, in control of the Senate, they need some way to get this done. And we did hear Leader Schumer make mention of the fact even today that, he may possibly pursue some type of alternative measures to try to at least get a voting rights legislation to advance in some capability, some shape or form.
All right, Nikole Killion on Capitol Hill. Thank you so much.
You bet.